iHub Radio, reinventing talk radio in the Coachella Valley. Homemade for the rest of us. Live from Palm Springs, the intersection of arts, entertainment, and the desert scene. This is The Culture Corner with Bonnie Gilgallon.
Good Saturday afternoon to you, and welcome to the Culture Corner on iHub Radio. A little bit breezy and cool and windy out there today, but a perfect day to listen to the radio and what's going on. So much going on in the Valley. We're still in high season, March, so much going on. And I'm really thrilled to have back live in studio today, Miss Hope Diamond.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, she's got the Facebook Live. I had to take the glasses off here. I'm getting a little vain.
You're so beautiful anyway.
Oh, you're so sweet. She's got, welcome back to the show, first of all.
Always a pleasure.
She's rocking and rolling. She's got so much going on. Well, first thing I want to talk about is she's got another big show at Frankie's Back Room. If you haven't been there, you need to check it out on Perez in Cathedral City. Hope Diamond presents the swinging era of jazz and soul Saturday, March 21st, 7 p.m. with the Paul McDonald Trio. So tell us about that show.
It has just been a thing that's been in the making. You know, I love Sinatra, but I've always kind of let my other partner that I hang out with named Steve McCann. He does a lot of the big band with us. We've been doing big band for a while. Paul McDonald is a 17-piece big band. He's the conductor, but he also does trios, quintets, sextets, duos. So he's joining me for this, and it's going to actually be an amazing night, bringing a little bit of Sinatra in this time, along with my jazzy self, and then a little bit of soul now.
Okay. How do you pick? Because there's so much great material. How do you pick stuff for an event like this, musical stuff?
I dream it first.
Okay.
And I see me on the stage. Like, I had visited Ella Fitzgerald's website because I was just studying a lot of things about her, and I saw that she actually, Mac the Night was done with her and Frank Sinatra in Berlin. And I love the way she swung it. And that's, I guess, my soul loves swinging it.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I love ballads, too, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I do several ballads on my shows. But I saw me doing it.
Yeah.
I saw her.
That's in my show.
Yeah, the way she does her enunciations was important to know that I could feel it and do it.
Yeah.
Because there's some songs that aren't.
Yeah.
Of course, right, Bunny?
Right.
You choose how you do you.
Well, yeah. Well, you got to do what songs that you relate to, you feel comfortable with. Because otherwise, it's not going to come
Not gonna
across.
go well, huh?
By the way, and you said there's a picture of her when she was younger, and you do look like her a lot.
Is that official?
Yeah, with she had her hair up,
Yes.
and you does look like
Come
you.
on.
Yeah, which is kind of fun.
It is kind of fun.
You could, if you wanted to, if you ever wanted to, you could do a whole Ella tribute show.
You can't just... And like that, and then I got to school some people and
Oh,
some more.
oh, here we go.
Just because you think you can do the tribute show don't mean
you
that
should.
you can't enunciate and scat.
Well,
What if I couldn't scat at all?
would
I really do the Ella?
Well, if you couldn't
no.
scat at all, then probably not.
No.
But I have a feeling you can scat.
But you know what I mean, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
so I may scat, but scatting it in itself, the art of scatting, my gosh, it's almost like learning the A-E-I-O-U's perfectly.
Yeah.
To do it right. And
I'm going to ask you a question about that because I have always thought I don't scat, and I'm not going to scat. And here's why: because I got into an argument once with somebody, a very talented gentleman. I don't know if you know him, Mike Costley. He's a wonderful singer in town, and he was on my show years ago. And he said, "Well, you can teach anybody to scat." And I said, "I don't think so." I don't think so. I mean, it's not just the mechanics. So you got to feel it.
I've seen people pretend or think they scat.
And I don't like that. No.
I saw Frank Sinatra do it, and I thought, Scooby-Dooby-Doo?
Yeah, that's not the same. No.
I mean, you can do Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think, and if you can't, it's just like I tell my voiceover students, if you.
Would you agree with that, my dear?
Brian says yes. He's agreeing.
Right, okay.
It's like if you're doing an accent in a play, if you can't do a good English accent, don't do it.
Which is very true. And in doing scat, for me, I know it's just a little bit more of me sitting for the enunciation, learn a little bit more because I do scat. But when you understand its relationship to a horn or the instrument that you want to emulate as a voice coach, you certainly can identify with this. Just you better be getting it right.
Yeah.
And you're almost phonetically, you just really gotta get it right.
And I have huge admiration for people who do it and do it well. But I also firmly believe if you don't do it well, don't be doing it.
Don't be doing it.
Don't be doing it. So I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah. Come on. That's not it.
That's not it. So it's now. Is it just you singing? Do you have any guest singers on this?
You know, I always like to bring in my guest singers that Steve McCann will open for me, and then I'm bringing an amazing guy in that you haven't met yet. His name is Shay Welsh. Shay Welsh is a guitarist that took me to Panama with him to open for the Panama Jazz Festival. He has an album out, and I got to open for him with his song. He belongs to the Coltrane Institute, which is John Coltrane's daughter, Michelle Coltrane. So Shay Welch will be joining me on the guitar as my fifth person. So it's going to be actually a quintet because I'm bringing his Jazz Institute, the Shay Welsh Institute. I'm bringing him to the desert with the John Coltrane Project to work with children of lesser means that want to be instrumentalists or vocalists or whatever. And we're going to be doing a project.
That's great.
And he's going to be bringing instruments to those children.
Excellent. Yay.
Yeah,
super. All right. So let's talk about can we talk about your album project?
Yes. How'd you hear about that?
Oh, I don't know. Little birdie told me.
Yes.
So tell us about it. Come on.
Well, I don't think he'll mind me telling you. It's so funny because, once again, I'm really an R&B singer. From way back. I mean, from birth almost. Yeah. That's how I heard
She came out
music.
singing R&B. Days are the blue. Da, da, da. Yeah.
And I, though professionally, loved jazz. So it's, you know what it is. I just love crossing my legs and sitting by the piano just singing. That's what I like. No sweat.
Right.
And as I told my producer yesterday, R&B, you got to sweat a little.
Okay.
So I'm a little older now. So then comes smooth jazz, which is the new answer supposedly to those that don't like jazz. It was the new answer back then, smooth jazz, so that you can feel that you really like jazz. And I talked about it with a friend of mine who I got to know named Steve Oliver. Steve Oliver is an amazing smooth jazz guitarist. Okay. He's decided that I should join him on a new album that we're going to create. And he is writing music for me as we speak.
All right.
To do a smooth jazz project.
That's excellent.
Isn't that amazing? Yay. You know, it's like, you ask, how do you find those persons? You ask, how can I get an agent? You ask, how can this all happen? It is all about God finding that time and direction, you being worthy. You put in the work.
Yeah.
You put in the work. And then somebody goes, come with me. That's how it has to be. That's the way it is.
Yeah. Well, you just you're right. You do the work, put one foot in front of the other, keep doing the work, project out there in your mind what you want, and just, it's coming. It's like, I love it. Louise Hay says, it's like going to a restaurant. You put your order in the kitchen, you sit there and wait. You know it's coming. You don't chase the waiter in the kitchen and say, where is it? You know it's coming. And so she talks about the cosmic kitchen in life. You put your order, okay, this is what I want. You do it, and expect it to come. You know?
Expect it to
I love
come.
that. Yeah.
You never know. It's just been a blessing so far.
So to go back to, I know we went through this last time we were here, but where are you from originally? You were singing as a kid, right?
Singing as a kid since I was 3 in the church. And even though many people migrated from the South to wherever else past the Mason-Dixon line, we ended up in L.A. But being in L.A. meant that I still had to go back with my family every year to our hometown, our home alliance, which is Louisiana. Okay, so between New Orleans and Shreveport is my family lineage, and so you were there all the time. So I continued that relationship always with family there, and so singing was in the church was mandatory 2 times, 3 times a day sometimes.
Wow,
yeah, that's how often your family went to church.
That was just part of the whole deal.
That was the deal.
Yeah,
and growing up, and so you always are going to remember that. And you worked the choir. You were in that choir at 3, 4, 5 years old, 6,
and
7.
And what great training choirs are. Yeah.
It is. It truly is. So, speaking of, so I'm doing a show on March 14th, at the Avondale Clubhouse.
Okay.
It is the 50th anniversary of their existence, and it's in the Palm Desert. So we're doing the 17 big band. We just found out we've got 190 reservations.
Wow.
It's going to be probably 200 by the time next week comes. So March 14th, it is in a plated dinner. It's $90 ticket. And I decided to bring in a gospel choir.
Wow.
So
now, is this open to the public or just people that
live there?
It's
a private event, but I have, through my opportunity, I have 2 tables that I'm filling up with people that want to come and see it because I'm bringing in some gospel special girls. How
exciting is that?
I even invite a couple of ladies to join that I know.
I mean, who doesn't love a good gospel choir?
And the reason is because the big band with Paul McDonald, we're going from swing also into R&B. So we're doing about 8 R&B songs. Aretha Franklin, Marvin Gaye, Gladys Knight.
All right.
I'll be doing those tunes. So I need some girls behind me.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Excellent. My goodness. Let's talk about Frankie's for a second. Where, we're just talking about this before we came on the air. What a great, if you haven't been there, you really should check it out. And Frankie, I don't know if he's noticed it, but there's now a new light on the sign when at night you can see it. I heard about
this light that's lit up Frankie's.
Yes, my sweetie Erica, we gifted Frankie with that because you needed that sign so you can see at night. You can turn on there. It says Frankie's.
We probably missed a lot of people.
From
not having
but now they can see it. But it's such a great room. They've redone this back room, and it's like a New York cabaret room, a speakeasy, and just fun but elegant, and a great stage, great piano, and just a wonderful room to go hear music.
I think it is kind of cool.
It really is, and there's not too much else like it in town.
Oh, be careful.
Yeah, there's really not. I mean, it has its own ambiance, and it's right Cathedral City, right kind of mid-valley, which is great, very convenient, right off Perez, which is right off Date Palm. And Frankie's great. He's the best. He's a wonderful guy and welcomes everyone. It's just and I know you've said the Thursday night open mic now is jammed.
We went from the little front room where it was 30, 40 people. We were always excited when we got 45. To now we had to move to the back room, and now it's 65, 70 people. And still we have our beautiful singers that come in. We missed you, Bonnie, last week.
I'm coming. I'm going to try to come next week.
All right, then me and you'll go together.
Okay.
And these people come in, and man, I just sit back and I love it.
And of course, Joel Baker on piano, who's the best.
The best.
We love him.
I give him his props all the time.
Yeah.
Just call the tune and he knows it.
Yeah. Or if it's something unusual, bring your sheet music.
Yeah, for sure, bring your sheet music for that.
But it's such a great opportunity for local singers. It's such a beautiful room.
The room is transitioning each and every time as we grow. I mean, that room right now is in its raw estate. It is going to be even a more magnificent place. And I love entertainers who are working their craft and who truly deserve to bring a show there that are lovely people. That's the other part of it. The human spirit is really important because there's not a room for all the artists in the desert to perform there.
Yeah.
But, if God willing, those people that are work their craft and got an audience together and want to come out.
All right. We're going to be back with more with Miss Hope Diamond. You're listening to the Culture Corner on iHub. We'll be right back.
Local talk that's moving the needle. Art exhibitions to modernism, music festivals to live theater. If it's happening in the Coachella Valley, it's on the Culture Corner with Bonnie G.
And you're listening to the Culture Corner on iHub Radio. We're here with Hope Diamond. She's got so much going on. Jazz Festival. Tell us about that.
Well,
might be coming up soon.
Okay.
I
was approached by some of the finest jazz musicians in the Coachella Valley here that I think are fine. And they together approached me and would like me to produce a jazz festival. I'm not ready for a festival, but a jazz jamboree.
Okay.
And it would be actually a thing where we're going to have about 3 to 4 bands over a course of a weekend. Jazz Appreciation Month is in April, Bonnie, by the way.
Oh, okay, perfect.
International National Jazz Appreciation Month. It's a big deal.
Okay.
And I'm going to be probably setting this up with them for the end of April.
Okay.
And we're going to be doing probably a buffet at Frankie's, 2 or 3 bands, 4 bands up there, I believe, over the weekend, buffet. Some of the proceeds are going to go to a special charity.
That's great.
And utilizing these great guys like Doug McDonald, Bill Seda, Michael Carr, my love, he's just helping me with so much. And of course, Shelly Yona before he gets out of here. And other great cats around the desert. And we're going to be pulling together.
That's great.
Yes.
That's fabulous.
Yes. Isn't that great?
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool, I think.
Yes. What? I always
As Frankie says, yes.
Yes. And I'm Frankie. We just love Frankie so much. Frankie and Luca.
Yes.
What do you... I always like to ask performers this, especially singers. When you get time off and you get to go hear somebody else or go see somebody else, what are you looking for? What do you want someone to... What are you looking for when you go listen to it?
Excellent. I want somebody exactly like me or that I aspire to.
Okay, well, expand on that.
Okay, recently at the Gilgallon, I didn't care how much that ticket was. I was going. It was last week. It was a tribute to Ella Fitzgerald.
Okay.
At the Gilgallon.
Okay.
I bought my $100 ticket.
Yeah.
Plus, I love the artist that was doing it, Patty Austin.
Oh, my God, I love Patty Austin.
Patty Austin,
yes.
big props because it was Patty Austin. I knew it was going to be absolutely true, almost true to real. Like, I'm going to feel like Ella's in the room. And that was the 2 things. So I'm going to feel like that person's in the room. And I aspire to that person putting it on, as well as the person they're attributing it, giving the contribution to.
Yeah.
So, and then I love R&B, so I went recently also to see, for the first time ever, I went to a doo-wop R&B concert.
Where was that?
It was Delphonics and people like that, and I can't even name them all, but it was so cool.
Where was that? Was that here?
It was at the Alco Caliente.
Okay.
What a nice theater in there.
Yeah.
But other than that, I haven't gone to many shows so much this year. Not so much. But I do love these female vocalists. They're rare. And by the way, fewer and fewer jazz vocalists out there.
Why do you think that is?
I was talking to Steve about that just yesterday, particularly in the smooth jazz genre. We were talking about the era of smooth jazz when it came to be, how it was more about the horns and instrumentation.
Right.
Very few, maybe 3 on one hand, 3 3 people. There were just not the vocalists. He says that's going to be changing a lot more now as the female vocalists emerge in that smooth jazz genre. We already know we got Sade, we got Lettuce, we got people like that, but not a lot of female vocalists in that genre. However, with that being said, I believe just like anything else, now is our time.
Yes.
And we're covering in every aspect of everything.
Yeah.
And so why not? Speaking of, Women's Jazz Festival coming up in October.
Okay.
I was just asked to open for it.
Excellent. Now, where's that going to be?
Here in Palm Springs at the Annenberg. It is big, it's not a little.
Yeah.
It's a huge jazz festival.
Yeah.
All female instruments.
Excellent.
Taste instrumentalists and singers.
Yay.
And they called me.
Wow. We'll have to get you back on here to talk about that
we
at
will.
that point.
We hear you.
Tell me about when you see or hear younger women coming up, who's starting out. What do you think of that? I mean, one of the things, my pet issue is picking material that's right for you. I mean, I think sometimes people don't do that. And it's like, there's a billion songs out there. Why not sing something that suits you, suits your voice, suits your personality, suits your word? Do you find that a lot that's an issue?
I also find, along with that, I totally agree, is a lot of female vocalists, these younger ones today, they've got this twang that's driving me nuts.
Okay.
They're all kind of sounding the same a little bit there. It's a little bit crazy to me. But that being said, there are a couple of artists, every now and again a great artist comes along. Anyway.
Yeah.
And because she found her voice, she found it. She found her way in her voice. And so that's just going to be the way it is. I guess young people just going to have to just try till they find it, or they get off the stage?
Experiment. Oh, get off the stage. I'm going to get this in before we run out of time. So, the swinging era of jazz and soul, Hope Diamond presents Saturday, March 21st, 7 p.m. Call 760-770-1300 for reservations. Better be calling now. $25 general or $35 preferred seating. It's on Perez Road in Cathedral City. Frankie's back room. It's a great room. Check this with the Paul McDonald Trio. Don't miss this. I'm telling you right now, you're going to be sad if you did. Hope Diamond. I love you, darling. Thank you so much. So much going on.
Lunchtime. Bye-bye.
All right. We're going to be back with Jeff Hocker in just a bit.
This is The Culture Corner with Bonnie Gilgallon on iHub Radio. Call 760-544-TALK. That's 760-544-8255. Now here's Bonnie G.
And we're back on The Culture Corner. We're now joined by Jeff Hocker. Yay!
Yay! We were just talking that I don't think I've been on for a while.
Yeah.
So Happy New Year.
Yeah, you too. Yeah, it's already March. But
your previous guest was amazing.
Oh, Hope is great.
She is fantastic.
Have you ever heard her sing?
It's been a while, but yeah.
That girl can sing, I tell you what. And have you been to Frankie's yet? You need to come to Frankie's.
Okay.
It's in Cathedral City on Perez Road. It's the back. It looks like a New York cabaret room. It's a great room.
Yeah.
I did a couple shows there. She's doing a show. It's fabulous. So anyway.
Should I have her for Halloween?
Yes.
I need to have you for Halloween.
Okay.
Get you on that big stage.
Yeah.
And
I'm there.
we got that big video screen in the background. 20-foot long screen.
I'll do some, sex bomb stuff.
Shake
Whatever you
it
want.
off.
Yeah, whatever. Okay. So you got a billion things going on.
Well, we should talk about save the date for Halloween, October 31st.
Yeah.
HalloweenPalmSprings.com.
I know it's
never too early to shop for
it's only,
costumes.
what is that, 6 months? Like 6 months? We're a little longer than that, but never too early. Absolutely. So what's going on? What do you want to start with here, Mr. Hocker?
Well, let's start with the Coachella Valley Symphony.
Okay.
John Mario is their artistic director and conductor, and he has done absolutely phenomenal job in bringing the level of the symphony up.
Yeah.
He is also the artistic director for the Temecula Valley Symphony. So he's bringing his expertise and techniques over to the Coachella Valley Symphony.
Super.
The last show they just did, the Best of Stage and Screen, was completely sold out.
Mm-hmm.
So we're telling everybody to buy their tickets ahead of time. It's at the Annenberg Theater, which is, about 430 seats. And so, it sells out quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that house.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the best.
Oh, it's a
in the
great
valley.
theater. Yeah, absolutely.
Good acoustics. They redid the entire light and sound system.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the staff is wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the next concert that they are doing is called the Concerto Concert. And what they did is they had a competition in January, the best and brightest young talent in the valley. You have to be between like 12 and 26, and it could be any instrument.
I was just going to ask about instruments. Okay.
Any instrument and voice.
Okay.
And so, really a lot of College of the Desert students
Sure.
audition and be part of the competition. So they picked two young girls who were both pianists to be a part of the concerto concert. But it's not just them, it's the whole symphony as well.
Yeah.
So what's really great about the Coachella Valley Symphony is they believe in advancing youth. Mm-hmm. They provide a lot of scholarships. They do a lot of programs in the school system to really foster young kids, because really, if you start playing like the violin or the piano at age 4 or 5, you have a good chance to have a career in that.
Mm-hmm. If you so choose, yeah.
If you choose. Mm-hmm. And it's great to have that in your talent
It's a great
repertoire
background.
anyway.
Yes.
Because
I took 8 years of piano. Yeah. And because not only does it give you a musical, an appreciation of music, but there have been a billion studies. You do better in math. Kids do better in every other subject if they have musical education. Also.
That's why so many doctors are in these symphony orchestras.
Yeah. Yep. It's all kind of the same brain circuits.
Very cognitive, and it staves off Alzheimer's and dementia.
Yep.
You know, music is really the last thing that goes.
Absolutely. And I've seen that myself. With patients like you, they can forget everything else, but boy, you play a song they knew in high school and they'll sing along.
Yeah. That's true.
It's the truth. And it's great.
So some of the other things they're going to be performing is the Tragic Overture by Johann Brahms, the Intermezzo from Nanin. I can't even say this. Can you speak Italian? You have a little bit of Italian in you.
Where is it?
Right here at the top.
Oh, Manon Lescaut. I'm going to guess.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
My best guess.
There you go. That's a good guess. And that's from Giacomo Puccini. And the first movement from Joseph Haydn's Symphony No. 103. And I think what's really great about John Mario is he takes the program and he intermixes these really great symphonic, Beethoven and Bach and all these different legends. And he intermixes them with Broadway and,
so it's a
TV
nice
shows.
Mix.
And because most people, unless you're a real advocate of symphonic classic music, you wouldn't just go to a concert just because of that. But it's great to be influenced by it and educated on it. Right. And he's so great. In between each song, he stands up and he talks about where where the composer is from, why he wrote it. And I didn't know this. Recently, I was told that the reason why you have singers singing different verses on top of each other is in the time of like Bach and Beethoven and all these masters, the scores were humongous. They were like 400 pages. And so to condense them, they started having people singing over each other. So then when you're putting the score together, it's not as long.
I didn't
Isn't that
know
fascinating?
That. Yeah, that's a great little tidbit.
So like Handel's Messiah, they're all singing over each other. So it's, it's...
Wow.
Anyway, so if you would like to go to Concerto Concert, the website is CoachellaValleySymphony.com. Okay. Tickets are really inexpensive for this concert, only $45 to $65.
Okay.
But guess what? One of the Coachella Valley's favorites is coming in April. Diane Shore.
Oh, gosh.
And let me tell you, the show is almost sold out already. Tickets are a little bit more expensive. They're $55 to $95, but it is going to be incredible. She's a Grammy Award-winning vocalist and contemporary jazz artist, nicknamed Deedles.
She's
I'm sure you've seen her many times.
I've seen her.
Yeah, I saw her at the McCallum was probably the last time I saw her. And again, as part of that show, they're also going to play some symphonies. They're going to play... Leonard Bernstein's Overture from Candide, Richard Wagner's Overture from Renzi, and themes from like Casablanca and Hawaii Five-0 and all that.
That's great.
So that's what I mean. They can mix it in, and,
Yeah.
and people are like, wow, that's really cool. Yeah. How did they do that?
Yeah. But a little classical in between. So a little extra culture and education. That's great.
So again, if you want tickets to either of these shows, again, they sell out. It's only 430 seats at the Annenberg.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go to the box office and you don't pay fees. So that's a good tip for all your listeners. 760-325-4490 is the Annenberg Theater box office. And, you know, you're going to pay a slight fee when you go online. But, you know, it's great to just pick up your tickets. You know, if you're not doing anything and you're, you know, downtown Palm Springs, stop by.
Go buy a ticket,
I believe their hours are Thursday through Sunday from like 10 a.m. to 4.
Okay. Super.
And you can go to psmuseum.org for tickets on that.
Okay. What else is cooking, Mr. Hocker?
Well, you know, I always have a couple things going here.
I know.
So the California Desert Chorale is doing their Bach to Broadway event coming up. That will be at the Indian Wells Theater at the CSUSB campus in Palm Desert.
Gorgeous theater, gorgeous.
Yeah, and it's very unique because the stage is on the ground and
It's
you're
like
elevated
stadium
above.
Seating,
Yeah, so every seat is amazing.
It's fabulous. Yeah, there's not a bad seat in the house.
No.
Yeah.
And I like it because quite often when you go see a chorus or a chorale, they're on platforms, but you may not be able to see everybody. When you're up above them, you can see every face in the whole chorale. So their event, Bach to Broadway, is coming up on March 22nd and 29th, both Sundays at 3 p.m. Sundays tend to sell really well. So people are getting smart and they're doing their matinees on Sundays.
Yeah.
So this is going to be really fun. There's going to be, of course, Bach in it, but also legendary musical theater composers George Gershwin, Richard Rodgers, Jules Stein, and Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Perfect. Yeah.
So that's a great Sunday afternoon. Go have your brunch, then come over to the Indian Wells Theater.
Here's some great music.
Great music. Of course, Tim Bruno, who you're very familiar with.
He's been here on my show. We're wonderful.
Yeah, he's a professor over at College of the Desert, and they're another organization that really works hard to foster the youth, bring them into the organization. They give scholarships. They have a scholarship competition as well, but then they give internship, credits and stuff for kids going to school and studying music. And what generally happens is, once they come and they're there for a season, they end up staying. Even once they graduate from high school or college, they stay.
Yeah.
And what better learning than to sing next to somebody who's been singing for 20 or 30 years?
Yeah.
And it really can fine-tune your craft.
Absolutely.
Chorales and choruses are not for everybody, but I think everybody should try it.
Yeah.
And see if it works for you.
Want to sing at all, if you're interested in singing at all.
Yeah. And then you could do solos if you wanted. All of these groups all have auditions for solos. So if you want tickets to Bach to Broadway, you can go to CaliforniaDesertChorale.org.
Okay. Super. All right. Now let's talk about Daryl.
Well, Daryl's going to join us probably in a few minutes.
Okay.
I think we'll
hold off on him.
Yeah, we'll hold off on him for a minute. How much more time in this segment do we got? A couple minutes?
Now?
No, the song's about 2 minutes and 19 seconds.
Okay, so we'll play that in the next segment. Next segment. We have another 4 minutes now, 3?
Okay.
Like less than 2 minutes.
Oh, less than 2.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about the chorus.
Okay.
And then we'll play a little snippet from Daryl Davis.
Okay.
We're hoping that he's going to join us.
Okay.
He lives in Maryland, so we've got a little bit of time difference, but he's got a lot going on.
Yeah, but
guy's
if
amazing.
Not, we can chat. We'll chat. We'll fill up the time.
Well, we were talking, he's a blues musician. He's played with Chuck Berry and Muddy Waters and all that. So the other upcoming event, and this is in April, but it's good to do a little teaser because it's never too early to buy tickets.
April's not that far away.
Yeah. It's called Cassini, and it's the Palm Springs Gay Men's Chorus.
Okay.
This is really cool. You know Joe Giarrusso from CV Rep.
Oh, yeah,
He and Joe Damon, who's a singer in the chorus, we commissioned a work.
Okay.
So Joe did the score, and then Joe Damon did the lyrics. And it's this really great story about this kid with autism who somehow connected his brain with Cassini.
Okay.
And Cassini was NASA's 13-year mission to go around Saturn, collect data, and then what they did is they crashed it into Saturn so that they could get it as close. They weren't capable of landing it on Saturn, but they crashed it to get as much data as they could as it got closer.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is the story of this kid who grows up during this commissioned work that we do. But also, check out some of these songs that we've got going on. This is really a blast from your past. Purple People Eater, Good Morning Starshine,
Okay.
Come Fly With Me by Sammy Kahn.
Yeah.
Mean Green Mother from Outer Space from Little Shop of Horrors.
Okay.
Icing the Body Electric from Fame.
Okay.
And then there's like this little suite of music in this one song. It's called Space Themes. And it's got Close Encounters.
Oh, yeah.
The Jetsons.
Okay.
Star Wars.
Yes.
So I think anybody who comes to this concert is going to have a lot of fun.
All the memory, going down memory lane. Yeah.
And one of the things, like I was talking about with the Annenberg Theater, which is also the home for the chorus, is they updated all of their sound and lighting, and we're going to do all of these images of Saturn and the Cassini probe and all that.
Excellent.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
So if you want tickets to the Palm Springs Gay Men's Chorus Cassini, go to psgmc.com.
All right, so much going on with Jeff Hocker. All right, when we come back, we're going to hopefully chat with Daryl Davis. We're going to talk all about this great event he's doing and maybe play some of his music. We'll be right back on the Culture Corner on iHub Radio.
Local talk that's moving the needle. Art exhibitions to modernism, music festivals to live theater. If it's happening in the Coachella Valley, it's on the Culture Corner with Bonnie G.
All right, we are here with the fabulous Jeff Hocker, and he's told us about all the stuff he's doing. Got another thing coming up. Daryl Davis, jazz pianist. Tell us about him.
So this event is going to be very unique, and tickets are selling really fast. It's Sunday, March 15th, again at the Annenberg. I think everybody's going and having their home at the Annenberg.
Yeah.
But Daryl Davis he has played on a lot of Grammy Award-winning albums, and he has played with Chuck Berry and Muddy Waters, and I think we're going to have a little sound clip of him performing. Okay. But he also is a race relations expert. And what he does is he meets with neo-Nazis, Ku Klux Klan members, and he feels that if he goes in person and he engages these people, whether it's aggressive verbally or just calm,
and a one-on-one human being thing,
that eventually he has changed a lot of minds.
I can't. 200 Klansmen have given up their robes after meeting with him.
200.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I can't even imagine how scary that is, but he says he has no fear.
Wow.
And it's funny because, he's an African-American man, and a lot of times these Ku Klux Klan members have come to his concerts. He lives in Maryland, so he it plays a lot of blues. I mean, there's a lot of amazing blues and jazz clubs in Baltimore. Yeah. What are the other cities that have a lot of clubs?
Well, and then DC, because Maryland's right. The DC, Maryland, Virginia are all right next to each other.
And you can take the train right to wherever you want to go, right?
You can drive through 3 states in 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Very different from California. They're all very small.
True.
Yeah.
But he, as part of this show, he is going to be doing not only his race relations, he's got like this PowerPoint, multimedia videos and stuff that he will talk about in his show. And this all supports JFS Desert, which it will help their homeless program. And so at least he's doing something.
Yes.
He just did this PBS documentary called Accidental Courtesy, and they just did a showing of it at the Tolerance Education Center. And let me tell you, it was about an hour and 20 minutes. Not one person said one thing during that whole film.
And tell us about it. Tell us about what it's all about.
Oh, there's all these scenes of him going to Ku Klux Klan rallies, and they're burning crosses on people's yards and chanting and doing all this stuff. And then there will be a scene where he'll go and he'll meet with the head of the Ku Klux Klan for that region. And they become friends. And sometimes it takes a long time. This is not a short process.
It doesn't happen in 5 minutes.
But eventually some of them, because he's a really cool guy too, and he's got this depth to him because he's a musician. And he can tell stories about who he's played with.
Sure.
And all of a sudden they're like, wow, this guy.
Music bridges a lot of gaps.
It does. And, there's scenes where he's literally in Maryland and these African-American kids, these rap artists, are verbally attacking him and saying, how dare you go out and meet with these people? And he says, hey, at least I'm doing something.
Not just complaining about
I'm
it.
not just going out and demonstrating. I'm meeting with people and trying to influence and change their minds. And he's really talented at doing that, obviously.
And tell us about his music, and then we'll play this clip in just a second here.
Well, he's played with Chuck Berry and Muddy Waters, and like I said, he's performed on a lot of Grammy Award-winning albums for a lot of blues and jazz artists over the years, and very talented.
Cool. Can we? All right, we're going to hear a little bit of Daryl Davis. Wow.
But if that doesn't get you up and dancing,
then,
I don't know what does.
Nothing will. Yeah, Daryl Davis. Wow.
Isn't he amazing?
And this is so.
It gives me chills.
Yeah, and because I was not familiar with him at all.
Yeah.
I mean, he's amazing both with his music and with the stuff he's doing with the race relations.
Right.
Very impressive. Now, do you know? Was he like a child prodigy with the piano?
He was. His parents were involved with music, and he's been around music his entire life.
And now, where's he?
He always had. Well,
does he live in L.A.? Does he live here?
No. He lives in Maryland.
That's right.
Yeah, not too far from Baltimore.
Okay, super.
And, I think race relations, there's issues anywhere, but I think that area of the country where there's a lot of poverty, I think there's even more severe race relations that go on, where all of the politicians work really hard to overcome it. There's a lot of homeless problem, and some of it is generational.
Yeah.
Generation after generation is in poverty.
Yeah.
And so I think that's part of it. I think hate breeds in these elements.
Of course. Yeah.
And he is doing anything he can to stave it off.
Wow. Now, is he totally on his own with this project, or does he have people on board with him who work with him?
Pretty much by himself.
Wow.
So if people want tickets, they can go to jfsdesert.org. It is Sunday, March 15th at 3 p.m. Tickets are selling fast. You can do the show only at $75, VIP reception with 849 Restaurant for $200, and it's in the Sculpture Garden.
Excellent. Fabulous. Jeff Hocker, you are always a wealth of knowledge and events. Thank you for being here.
Oh, my pleasure.
Yay. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Hope. We'll see you next week on The Culture Corner.